What's up, everybody? Welcome to Guitar Gear Trader. I am Steve. I am the Guitar Gear Trader. And today it's on my first episode, and I want to start with my newest acquisition. And this is a 2023 American Professional 2 Telecaster. So right there, I'm actually going to put up, I got the gear cam all ready to go here. Okay, here's the gear cam. So we got a white, beautiful Fender American Professional 2 Telecaster, rosewood fretboard, pretty much mint condition. And it's not the original pickguard, which I want to talk about later. Okay, but there's a serial number if you want to see it. But that's the guitar. Pretty sweet, if you ask me. Big fan. Big fan. So, like I said, I traded for this guitar. I got it yesterday. Today is the 21st of December. And someone from Chattanooga drove all the way to me in Nashville to trade this guitar with me. And I just want to tell you how that went about and how it all went down. It's a cool little guitar. I don't have amps and stuff set up just yet. I have to get an amp with a direct out so that I can put it into my board, because when I try to just play it in the room, the ambient sound doesn't go into the microphone too good. So, but it's a cool guitar. It does what a Tele is supposed to do. If you watch my intro video, you're going to know that this is not a guitar review series. This is a series that just highlights how I personally buy, sell, and trade the guitars I have. Why isn't it a review show? To be quite honest, I'm not the best guitar player in the world. Okay, I was a rhythm guitar player in a cover band for a lot of years in New York City. And I am very happy in that pocket of being a rhythm guitar player. I am not trying to be a lead guy at all. I do my chords. I keep rhythm. I keep time. I'm in line with the drummer, and I have a good time, and I enjoy myself. So that's what I want to do. So just know that that's what you're getting. The whole point of this channel is not to show off my skills or the guitars necessarily, how well I can play them, but to show you how I trade for them. I love guitars. You're going to see that I go through phases, and my main goal is basically to get a collection that I have. Every piece that I have, I don't want to get rid of. However, those of you who love guitars and love trading stuff, there's always that one guitar that you're willing to part with to maybe get something better that you want. So this was not necessarily on my list of things I needed to have. I have two other Teles that are vintage that will probably show up on another episode. I have a 77 a Telecaster Custom, and I also have an all original 74 thin line Telecaster. But I wanted a Telecaster that was just a straight up Tele. The other two Teles I have, the thin line has two Seth Lover humbuckers in it, and the Custom has the original bridge, but it has the original Seth Lover humbucker in the neck. So there's a story to why I got this guitar and how I got this guitar. So let's basically get into it. So what did I trade to get that guitar? So you're probably going to say I'm an idiot for trading what I did to get that, because what I traded to get that is probably more expensive than the Tele. So long story short, I recently purchased a gold top. Let me bring it up for you. I got all my screens up here. Let me share my screen with you. So I purchased this gold top on Reverb. This is the exact listing that of the guitar that I bought. Obviously, I can't show you the guitar that I traded away because I don't have it anymore. But this is the guitar. I didn't pay $1,900 though, and that's kind of like the catch. So I love Reverb. Reverb is one of my favorite places to go check out guitars and see if I can get good deals and stuff like that. And I was looking for a gold top. I wanted a gold top. I have at the time I have a black Les Paul Custom, an ebony Les Paul Custom. And I had a 2023 Les Paul Standard that I got from the demo shop, the Gibson demo shop here in Nashville, in a Heritage Cherry, and I absolutely love that guitar. But I really wanted a gold top. It's one guitar I'd never really owned before, and I really kind of wanted to have one in my collection. So I was searching up reverb for, probably 2-3 weeks. You know how we do it. We go on Facebook, we go on Reverb, we go on Craigslist, and we're looking for a good deal, right? So I would have loved to have either a standard gold top or one of those standards with the P90 pickups in them, because my other two had the full humbuckers in them. But this guitar came up on Reverb for such a good deal, and it's in really, really good shape. And bring up the pictures here. It's in superb shape, really, really good shape. And it's a Les Paul Classic from 2019. It was barely played, hardly ever played, and had hardly a nick on it. Had these little tiny nicks that you see here on it, which did not sway me from getting at all. This picture here made it look like there was some really bad finish checking on the lower bout of it. But when I got it, it was hardly even noticeable. I think the lighting that this guy put on it made it accentuated it a lot worse, made it look a lot worse. But it really wasn't that bad at all. Here's the back of it, come with the case, came with all the candy and all that good stuff. Thing with the classics is that you get the coil splitting, which is fine. I wasn't buying it to have a coil splitting guitar. I joined a local, I'm jamming with a couple of guys here in Nashville. Our aspirations are to have a cover band and, local cover band in the local bars and stuff. So, but we just met. We've only been rehearsing for about a month or two. But it would be a versatile guitar if I needed to have humbuckers as well as single coil on stage with me at the same time. So without having to bring multiple guitars with me. So I got this I haggled down his 1900 to 1650, which I thought was a really good price. Now I know that if you go searching Gibson Les Paul classics, you might see them for 1450, you might see them for 1500. However, what I noticed when I was going through the listings was that the gold tops tended to be a little bit more money than, say, the cherry sunbursts or the tobacco bursts or some of the other colors that the classic came in. So I was cool with paying $16.50 on Reverb. Now Reverb's kind of my last resort. I love Reverb. I really do. I think the people on there are great. I think I love the fact that you are kind of protected when you buy something off of Reverb. If it breaks, if it's damaged when you get it, if it's not exactly as described. However, the bad thing about Reverb is you're going to pay shipping. You're going to pay sales tax. And in Tennessee, where I live, sales tax is almost 10%. So when you're buying a $2,000 guitar, you're paying $200 in tax, almost just about $200 in tax on a $2,000 guitar. And you're going to pay shipping, and shipping's astronomical these days, right? Especially if you want it packaged well and done the right way. So I thought $16.50 was a pretty good deal. And that was straight up, I paid for that. There was no trade involved. So as a person with GAS, which is gear acquisition syndrome, if you know, you know, I go back on Facebook. I purchase it like on a Thursday, right? And it's in California, so it's not getting to me till the next week. So in the meantime, it's going to take a week to get to me. In the meantime, I'm on Facebook, and I see on Facebook, and I wish I was able to bring up the listing, but I can't because the person, once he sold it to me, he deleted it. But I go on Facebook and I see a listing for an R7, Gibson R7. So let me grab that off the wall. It's right in front of me. Ugh. So I see a listing for this beautiful thing. Okay, it's a 2011 Gibson R7. Now, if you're not familiar with R7s, the R stands for reissue, and they have R7s, and they have R9s, and they have R8s. Okay, the serial number is 711851. It's from 2011. And what these are reissues of the original 1957 gold tops. Has the bridge that goes over the top. Okay. It has the vintage pickups in it. It's from the custom shop, right? So these are inherently a lot more money and a lot better guitars than a newer Les Paul Classic, arguably, right? I'm sure there are some people that would argue that they're not as good or they're not worth the money. However, I have a Les Paul Ebony Custom. I thought this would be cool to have. And a lot of times you'll notice that on Facebook, one of the things in the description is that they say no trades. Here's my guitar, no trades, no trades. That doesn't sway me or um, what's the word I'm looking for? That doesn't discourage me from asking if they want to trade for something. I will always offer a trade, regardless if they say no trades or trades welcome. So what I did was I had now this is an expensive guitar, right? New. Let's see if we can find it new. Say Sweetwater, say R7 Les Paul. See if I can go to Sweetwater and find out how much these are worth. At Sweetwater, this brand new Gibson Custom 1957 Les Paul Gold Top is $4,999. Okay, that's the one with the dark back. I don't know if the one with the regular back. This is just a regular back. I'm not sure if the regular back's any cheaper, but that's what the dark back one is. Okay, so I mean, even if it's a little cheaper, let's say it's $4,000, right? 4,000 between $4,000 and $5,000 guitar. Okay, the guy on Facebook that was selling this wanted 3,500, and I personally don't mind the guitar having a little wear on it. I don't even mind if they have breaks, repairs in them. That's fine with me too. They play just as good as guitars that weren't broken. But this was never broke. It does have plenty of worming on the back. Okay, I'm not sure if you really can't tell. Okay, I don't know if the light can pick it up. There you go. Maybe it's got a lot of buckler. This was played. Okay, Nashville's full of full-time working musicians, and this guitar was played. From what the guy tells me on in the studio a lot, and it weighs nothing. It weighs like 8 pounds. Like for a Les Paul, this is super, super light. And the classic one that I bought ended up being like 10.5 pounds. It was really, really heavy. It was like a boat anchor, that thing. So but then remember, this is before I get the classic, right? It's before I get the one off Reverb. It's in the mail. It's being delivered to me. And I'm talking to this guy about this guitar. So now I have about 30 guitars, and hopefully like each one of these guitars gets their own episode on this show. You're getting 2-for-1 deal today, essentially. This guitar, I offered the guy, I gave him a list of 5 guitars I was willing to trade to him. On that list was a 2014 Firebird, 120th anniversary Firebird, Firebird 5, the Les Paul Standard in Heritage Cherry. I also offered him the gold top that I didn't have yet. And I offered him a J45 that I got from the demo shop. I can probably show you that. I can show you the J45. Okay, if I go into my purchases. And this J45 was one of my favorite guitars. It played so well. Where is it? There she is. Okay, so I buy a lot of stuff from the Gibson demo shop because you get great deals, and there's nothing wrong with these guitars. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They find these tiny little flaws, but they're like nothing to me. So this was one of those 60s J45s with the adjustable saddles, and this thing weighed like 2 pounds. It resonated. It was amazing to play. I didn't want to get rid of it, but I have a lot of other acoustics, and I got this for like $1,800 on Gibson's demo shop, because if you put it on your watch list, they'll probably send you a 10% off or 15% off offer. I think I ended up getting it for like 1850, something like that. But I offered him that, and I can't remember what else. If I offered him anything else, I might have offered him a Firebird Studio. Okay, but either way, he says he'll do the trade for the Heritage Cherry Sunburst Les Paul and the J45 for this guitar. Now, if A lot of you are saying you're stupid. You shouldn't have done that. It was a bad deal. This to me is a guitar that I'm probably not going to be able to afford without giving something up, right? I don't have $4,000. I didn't have $3,500 to give him. And if I'm going to pay him $3,500, I might as well pay the 4,000 and get a brand new one. So my thought process was both of those guitars that he wanted, I got from the demo shop. I can show you the Les Paul from the demo shop that I got. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous Les Paul. It was probably a little further back. Here it is. Let me share that again with you. Here's the Les Paul Standard. It's cool that I can go back and show you these. So this was the Les Paul Standard. So he wanted this and he wanted that J45. So now I got this for, you know what? I want to say I got this one for $1,850 and I got the J45 for $1,650. I got two amazing deals on it, right? So if you add those up, oh geez, $1,650 and $1,850. It's like $3,300, something like that. If you do the math, I'm not good at math. Let's see. 1,650 plus 1,850, $3,500, right? So to me, the math worked out. Whatever I paid for these two guitars was equal to what this guy wanted, his asking price. And therefore, I wasn't losing any money. In my head, I'm not losing any money. Could I have sold those two guitars for more money? Absolutely. I probably could have if I waited long enough, I probably could have gotten probably $2,000 for the Les Paul. It was mint, nothing on it, nothing wrong with it. I only used it at rehearsals maybe 2 or 3 times. The J45, I'm not much of an acoustic player. I just kind of strum here and there, but that was the one I played the most. But there was no buckle rash or anything on it. I never played it live. So could I have sold that one for $2,000 as well and gotten a $4,000 guitar? Maybe. But to me, it was worth it. It was worth giving up those two guitars to get this one. And this thing rocks. It's got a nice big fat neck on it. It's light, like I said. The pickups are really, really responsive and awesome. I love, love, love this guitar, and I love the fact that it has character on it. People pay the Murphy Lab like an extra $2,000-$3,000 to get this kind of aging on it, right? I mean, so I got the aging. The Murphy Lab came for free on it, if in my eyes, right? So now I have a dilemma. My dilemma is I'm gonna have 2 gold tops, and I don't want 2 gold tops. I want 1 gold top. If it was the standard gold top with the P90s, I would have kept it because at least it would have been different. It would have been something different in the collection. But it was the classic. To me, the classic is, I don't want it. It's a great guitar. It's just it's not as good as the R7, that's for sure. So I felt like, it was the low hanging fruit at the time, right? Like I said at the beginning, there's always one guitar that you're willing to get rid of. And I had been yearning for a straight up good Telly for a while. So I went on Facebook and I found a guy, and I looked all over. I set my radius to about 60 miles around me, but I go outside that all the time. I even ask people in other states if they want to trade, and wait till you hear those stories. Those are pretty good stories. They'll be on future episodes. But I wanted a Telly, and I'm kind of particular with the colors that I want on Tellys. Okay, the other 2 Tellys I have, the Telecaster Custom is black. It's all black, and the Thin Line is a 3-color Sunburst. And they're beautiful. I love them. Both of those have maple necks. I didn't have a straight up Telly that had a rosewood neck. Okay. And I love the snappiness of the maple, but I got 2 of them and I didn't need another one. And I thought having a rosewood one would be a cool addition to the collection. Also, I love 2 colors pretty much that I love with Tellys. I love them in black, but I didn't want another black one. I had offers so now what I did was I put the classic gold top up on Facebook, and I put it for trade. I was like, hey, I got a trade. And I listed it for $1,850. Right. I got it for $1,650. I listed it for $1,850 to give me wiggle room to negotiate. But The colors that I really, really like in the Telly, I love butterscotch. I love the butterscotch, the one that, like Bruce Springsteen played and Keith Richards. Okay, that beautiful butterscotch color. And I also love the blonde, see-through blonde finish. Okay. Those two colors are my favorite. Now, the see-through blonde finish comes in like a Mexican Strat, and I'm a little snobby when it comes to my guitars. I will only buy American-made guitars. Um, there's only one guitar in my collection that's not American-made. That's a Gretsch White Falcon. That's Japanese made, and that's a great guitar. But I really try my best to only buy American-made guitars. Nothing against other guitar companies. I know other countries make really good guitars, so please don't get mad at me for that. And if you do, that's fine, whatever. I just really prefer to stick with American made stuff. So I knew I had to have an American Telly. Now there are lots of different levels of Telecasters, right? For people that have been doing this a while, like me, I'm in my 40s now. I've been doing this since I was 18. I was I was trading Epiphone Les Pauls for, Fender Squires and stuff back in the day. And we graduate to this stuff eventually. I'm blessed to be able to do that. But from when I was a kid, you had the American Standard, you have the Performer, you have the Texas Special, the Highway 1, the Ventura. You have all the professionals, right? Professional 1, Professional 2. You have all these different models. So you really need to know your stuff. You got to do your research. So for those of you who are out there trying to, trade guitars and swap things, make sure you do your homework, right? And try to make sure that your deal is as good for you as you possibly can. I knew I was going to kind of take a hit on the Classic. Why is that? The Classic is not the guitar that everybody wants. I didn't mind it. I was happy to have a gold top. If I didn't like the opened, the uncovered pickup look, I could have just thrown some pickup covers on it and called it a day. But other people are, are like that. They want the standard. They want, the guitar that's, up higher in the range, right? The Classic is the low Les Paul in the range. It's above the studio, obviously, but it's not quite the standard. Still a really expensive guitar, right? Still a $2,000 guitar. If you were to buy one new, and this one was basically new, and I got it for $1,650. But I knew that people online nowadays, especially in 2024, they're a little stingy now. There's not a lot of buyers out there, right? There's a lot of traders. People want to trade. People don't want to spend money. I understand that. It's a tough time, and you don't have the money. Plus, you want to try something new. And for the most part, I've never had a lot of issues with people not wanting to trade with me. So I've been pretty lucky with that. So I put it up there for 1850 to let people know what I value the guitar at. And you have to be realistic. You got to be realistic with that. If I would have put the gold top, the Classic, up for 2250, I would have got crickets. People wouldn't have been messaging me for trades. People wouldn't have been offering me money. You have to be realistic. I see that all the time. I see people listing stuff and they're $600-700 more expensive than listings on Reverb, right? Reverb's a good gauge for what your guitar is worth, right? Because there's fees that come off of Reverb. There's like a 7% fee that comes off of Reverb. So if you go onto Reverb and you find the cheapest one that's in decent shape, and you take 7% off of that, that's probably what you're going to be able to ask for it on Facebook or on Craigslist, right? So say your guitar is selling for $1,300 on Reverb, like a good one, like one that's in good shape. It's selling for $1,300 on Reverb on average. You're probably going to be able to say that it's $1,000 guitar on Facebook, right? Because that $1,300 is going to have fees attached to it. There's going to be shipping attached to it. The person's not going to get $1,300 when he sells it. He's going to get maybe $1,000. All right. So that's what you list it for. So I didn't have it on Reverb. If I had it on Reverb, I probably would have listed it for maybe 1950. Maybe you know what? I probably would have been 1850, but I was being aggressive with this one. So I go scrolling through and I knew I wanted a Telly, and all the Tellys that I wanted were like $1,200, $1,100, and people don't want to add cash, right? I would send pictures of the guitar. Hey, you interested in trading for a Les Paul gold top? And they'd say, yeah, okay. And I'd say, well, would you mind throwing $300 cash into it? And then I'd never hear from them again. Right. Not exactly a great tactic. Okay. But I found this one. And this one is a beautiful kind of aged white. It might look very white to you on the video, but it has like a cream to it. So it kind of looks to me like that see-through blonde color that I really, really like. And I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this? So I have it. It came stock with a black cover, and the person who I traded with put the white cover on. Now, the white cover looks cool, but I really like the tortoiseshell covers. Let's see if I can put that in there. What do you think? Want the tortoiseshell covers, or are we gonna stick with the white cover? Tell me in the comments what you think, because I'm leaning towards the tortoiseshell cover. I like the tortoise. I had that laying around from another project that I was working on. But I could keep it like this. I wouldn't mind if I kept it like that. This guitar is an American Professional 2. And the first thing I did when I went to his posting on Facebook was I took the serial number and I typed it into the Fender.com serial number lookup website. Okay, so here's the serial number, US 221-36343. And because you never know, you want to trust people, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it's real easy to fake these things. And it would be a real shame if somebody screwed you because they went and bought a different backplate, or they went and bought a different neck, or had a neck and slapped it onto a body, or who knows what people can do, right? So you just want to make sure you're getting what you're getting, especially if they don't have any paperwork for it. This person did have paperwork for it, but I like to be overly cautious, especially if I'm losing money on the deal, because this person was only asking, I think they were asking $1,400 originally, and then they dropped it down to $1,200. So in my head, I'm losing what, $600? Say in real life, I'm losing $400 on the deal, right? If I was to resell this on Facebook, I'd probably sell it for 14, and someone would probably buy that for 14, the classic. So I'm probably losing $400. And if I'm going to lose $400 on a deal, I don't mind. I want to make sure that I'm getting what I'm supposed to be getting. So here is the thing that came back, the info that came back. So it came back on the serial number. Now, again, with Fenders, the neck has the serial number on it. Sometimes the bodies do. If you take the pickups out and you look in the cavity, they might have a barcode, like a sticker in there. Not all of them do. It's kind of inconsistent. So you kind of just have to hope that this is the body that goes with the neck, which I'm pretty confident is. How did I kind of make sure that was the case? I went to Reverb and I wanted to see, are there white Professional 2s, right? Do they sell them in white? Did they have black pick guards on them? That's what I went to Reverb and I noticed. I was like, all the white Professional 2s have black pick guards on them. So I went back to the Facebook guy and I was like, hey, do you happen to have the original pick guard? And he's like, yeah, it came with a black one. I have it in the case. So that makes me feel better, right? You got to make sure what's going on. So it says here in the description, it's an American Professional 2 Tele, Rosewood, RW standing for Rosewood fretboard, Olympic white, Telecaster. I'm assuming the T stands for Telecaster. And it was made last March in 2023. Click on the model number. It'll tell you, should show you a picture of it. There it is. There's the tortoiseshell pick guard. Okay. Which is what I like, which is what I want to change it back to. I think it looks pretty cool like that. Gives you the description and all the specs, right? Okay, this does have the S1 switching, which is pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to use it because like I said, I wanted something that was traditional, like a very traditional Tele. And what that S1 switch does is it changes the pickups from series to parallel, or from parallel to series. It fattens them up. It makes it sound, only when you have it in the middle position and you switch this button on, it kind of beefs up the two pickups. So it makes it sound a little thicker, more heavier, like a humbucker. But it only works in that middle position when both pickups are on. So I guess it's combining them to make a humbucker. I guess that'd be pretty cool, I guess. But it has all the specs here for the guitar. I'm not a big, spec sheet kind of guy. I don't care how many frets it has. I'm not really, holy cow, this is a C and not a D-shaped neck. That's really not my thing. If it feels good, it feels good. If it sounds good, it sounds good. I don't care what kind of neck it has on it, as long as I can play it and it sounds good and it stays in tune. That's really all I care about. But I went there, made sure that was it. And I said to him, would you trade for the gold top? And he said, yeah. And then I hit him with would you mind adding $200-300 to the deal? Because I'm kind of, I'm coming out on the short end here. And he's like, well, I don't have any cash, but I can offer you like a crybaby wah and stuff like this. And I said to myself, well, I looked at his profile picture and I'm like, you know what? This guy seems like a nice guy. Maybe he doesn't have disposable income right now. He's just looking to trade this guitar. It's in mint condition. However, he's 3 hours away in Chattanooga. I'm going to spend easy. If I meet him halfway, I'm going to spend, half a tank of gas going back and forth an hour and a half each way. So I say to him, listen, I'll trade you straight up if you are willing to drive the guitar to me, to my house, and do the swap. He's like, absolutely, done deal. And he came by yesterday. He drove 3 hours. He stood at my house for about 5 minutes, played my gold top. I played the telly, and he went back home. And here I am. I got cool telly. It just makes me want to play Blackberry Smoke on it. I'm a big Blackberry Smoke fan. And I want to play some Tom Petty on it. And yeah, man, just rocking out with it. So tell me what you think. I know I came out on the short end of the deal. I know that. You can tell me in the comments if you want to tell me that, that's fine, but I already know. I'm happy with it. That's all that counts. I'm happy with this guitar. Am I ever going to trade this guitar? Is anything really off the table? There might be one or two pieces that are completely off the table in my collection. And they'll show up on other shows. There's definitely at least one that I will never get rid of. But are the other ones trade eligible? It all depends on what it is, right? It all depends on what it is. I've had guitars that I said, I'm never going to trade this one. This is the right one. And I've tried so many of these and I'm never going to trade this one. And I ended up trading them. Hopefully I don't trade those for bad deals. Hopefully I get something I really want. And in the future, we're going to have episodes just like this, but also we're going to have episodes that are us going through Craigslist and looking for deals. You're going to see me talking to people, trying to broker a deal. And, maybe we'll do some bucket lists, guitar bucket lists and things like that. Tell me in the comments what you want to hear. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed my stories and how I got this really cool American Professional 2 telly. And I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody. Peace.